No, it's not a whack-a-mole. Sorry, we're getting whack-a-moles will be coming. If you don't know what whack-a-moles are, I have a playlist. Go look. This is for Vinyl Guru. Vinyl Guru. Vinyl Guru. The channel, the woman who wears better hats than I do. Someday we will meet and we will share the chapeau. Vinyl Guru. Vinyl Guru. Okay, but what I'm going to do is essentially a whack-a-mole because you're supposed to, for her contest, congratulations on your subscriber base and your exuberance, your effervescence, your intensity, your charisma. It's a pleasure to know you the way we know each other, which is not much really. Anyway, I know you're a great vinyl collector and you love the music and you have a great vast style. There's a link below. I'm sure you all know her. Her name's been everywhere. The Vinyl Guru. And so she calls herself a guru. The Maharishi. All those people call themselves self-proclaimed gurus. I'm the Mazzy Guru. I'm Maslov. I am Maslov. Sounds so Russian. I think I can hack your feeds, your vinyl community feeds. Anyway, I'm going to pick 5 random because every record here, I would suggest to you, every record, the vastness of this Maslovian record library. So 5 for the guru and for the rest of the audience here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll take one out off the jazz wall here. Let's knock that light off. 5. Okay, we'll start with the jazz. Oh, this is perfect for the Vinyl Guru because she seems like she shakes it occasionally. This is a Blue Note 80 reissue of the fabulous, funky, soulful, upbeat album by Lou Donaldson. It's called Alligator Boogaloo. Alligator Boogaloo. Alligator Boogaloo. Now, the Blue Note 80 series are audiophile. They don't have the Tone Poet heavy, wonderful covers, but they're great. They're only about $20, $22. And they're cut by Kevin Gray, so they're really wonderful sound. Alligator Boogaloo is the opening track. It's got Mel Lasty on cornet, Lou Donaldson alto sax, George Benson guitar, who opened his mouth and sang in the 70s and had a hit with Leon Russell's Masquerade. Lonnie Smith, or now the Reverend or the spiritual advisor on the B3 organ, and Leo Morris on drums. This is one funky record. This came out, I think, in the late 60s, early 70s. Is there a date here? I don't see a date, but of course, recorded by Louis Van Gelder. Highly recommended, highly. It's a fun record. It's not that cerebral. You know, if you're not into jazz, this could be a fun record for you if you're trying to get into jazz. Look how like swinging 60s that thing looks, man. Love it. I'll party. Okay. You know, if you're going to wear good hats, sometimes, you know, especially if you're in the 70s, you want to wear good heels, a good pair of heels. Every man and woman in the 60s needed a good pair of heels to some extent. I did have some boots that are like that. Not quite the Elton John crazy, but I say that because this is the low spark of high heel boys. Traffic. This is their later incarnation. Well, this is the 70s, 73, 74 version of them when they had some additional, they had Rebop Kwakuba on percussion. And I saw them around this period at Winterland. 2, Shoot Out the Fantasy Factory and this on Island Records are 2 that had this bizarre kind of cut cover. That's how it was. I have a UK version of the other one. But of course, Low Spark High Heel Boys is on here, Rock and Roll Stew, Rainmaker. These 2 albums, they really did a lot of long extended cuts and kind of jazzy, soulful, bluesy rock. So I mean, of course, Stevie Winwood is one of the great vocalists, and he was what, 16, 15, 16, when he was singing in the Spencer Davis group, "Give Me Some Lovin'," and "I'm a Man." And of course, it's Traffic. My favorite two Traffic albums are the first two, the first three, including John Barleycorn Must Die, but self-titled. I like when Dave Mason actually was in the band, the first two records. But I like this stuff. Again, more of a jazzy feel, but beautiful record. Beautiful record. This is a good one. You should have this. This is an EP, and there is a CD. This is out of print. If you can find the EP, this is a promo I got from Warner Brothers, I believe, because it does have, it says specially priced, but it was notched. Warner Brothers buddy gave me this, and this is an EP that T-Bone Burnett did. T-Bone Burnett, as you know, is the infamous producer now. "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" soundtrack he did for the Coen brothers. He's done several of their soundtracks. He's produced some amazing records, including the Robert Plant record with Alison Krauss. He had a band on, they had 2 or 3 records on Arista Records in the 70s called the Alpha Band with David Mansfield. See, I know this shit off the top of my head like it's nothing, but I recommend this. But he did a series of solo work, including stuff on Warner Brothers. Now, what's great about this record, there's an amazing cover version, which is just stupendous. A cover of, and this is actually the Vinyl Guru. This is right up your alley, Ms. Guru. Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, right? Right, honey? Right, darling? Honey, darling? Darling, honey, darling, honey. Diamonds are a girl's best friends. These rocks won't lose their shape. Not quite the, actually quite the double entendre, but a great kind of rockin', cool country rockin' version of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Search that song out on YouTube. It's great. But anyways, EP, 6 songs. Love this. Love T-Bone Burnett. What a great, interesting producer. So now, oh good, I'm going to my hometown, San Francisco, California. The debut album for Chris Isaak and Silvertone. The band he was in San Francisco was called Silvertone before he kind of put his name on it. And they were playing around San Francisco. They were a semi-house band at a place called the Night Break on Haight Street in San Francisco, literally on the same block as Amoeba Records on Haight Street, and I used to go see them there. They played all around, of course. Their debut album was produced by Eric Jacobson, who was the producer for The Lovin' Spoonful. This is a wonderful record. It came out in the 80s, but it doesn't have that 80s tinkering piano crap and drums. So it doesn't really sound like an 80s record. Of course, I'm sure you all know Chris Isaak. I think he should have been bigger than he was, but he still plays and he's still fabulous. But he's got that tinge of a Roy Orbison voice. He had a great guitar player here, James Calvin Wellesley, and they had a falling out. But he had a really kind of surfy, twangy, like jazz master style Fender Jaguar guitar sound. Very sexy record, soothing, somewhat commercial. Opens up with Dancin', which is a little upbeat for the times, but really beautiful. Now, there's a great song on here that he wrote called Western Stars, and that song, it's beautiful, beautiful song. It was covered beautifully by Katie Lang, and in a way, her version might be the definitive version. But 1986, 7, 8, give or take. The debut album, Chris Isaak. I love him. Used to see him a lot in San Francisco when they played, and Warner Brothers had several release parties I went to see Chris Isaak. Great. And lastly, the number 5 record, a record that everyone should own, at least something by this band. If you like garage rock, if you just like, these guys are one of the greatest originators, I think, of garage rock band. Not the originator, but they were big. And this is a greatest hits record. And some people think they're a little gimmicky and commercial, which they were. But they had the greatest friggin' records, and this is Paul Revere and the Raiders. Pacific Northwest band, Seattle area, or not exactly what part of the Pacific Northwest they were from, but up here, of course, in the 60s, they were on the Dave Clark afternoon show. They were like the house band on Where the Action Is. But come on, Louie, their version of Louie, everyone did Louie in the mid-60s. Stepping Out, Just Like Me, Kicks. Kicks was written by, what's the team? The team wrote When I Was Young, I believe. And that song, Kicks, what was interesting about it, it was an anti-drug song, Kick in the Habit, which was unusual at the time. Barry Mann and Weil wrote a lot of songs. That song, Kicks, was given to the Animals, and the Animals rejected it. But this is an amazing greatest hits collection. Legend of Paul Revere, Good Thing, Hungry. Mark Lindsay's vocals on this are incredible. One of the great garage bands. You know, some of the stuff was augmented by some of the Wrecking Crew. Hal Blaine, I think, plays drums on Kicks. But that 12-string guitar, that lead intro is just fabulous. And of course, this is 298 from Peaches Records, which was a sort of a southwest, I believe, southern chain. Maybe it's Atlanta, I think, Peaches Records. So, greatest hits, 5 records that you should own that I whacked-a-mole. This is not official whack-a-mole. Number 80 is still coming at some point. I'm hitting number 80 whack-a-mole. Congratulations, Vinyl Guru. And I hope you all enjoy this records. And Mazzy loves you, darling.